Namaste, Jai Bharat. This is Anand Narsimhan and with me Lieutenant General DP Pandey. Just the last time we sat across with each other, General Saab, we spoke about Shatrubodh. We spoke about needing to understand the nature of the enemy and to treat the enemy that way. We also talked about the fact that it is okay to be good, but we should not be nice. 10/11 has happened. The details that unfold also point to certain threats and certain developments which you, when you were serving as GOC 15 Corps, had highlighted. White collar terrorists, hybrid terrorists, and intelligent, educated minds, supposedly progressive, highly radicalized to the extent that they believe that Ghazwa-e-Hind is mandated and should happen. Now, these are details that are coming out. Let's start from there.
Yeah, so I'm so glad now I'm listening this, a lot of anchors and a lot of people are coming and talking about white collar terrorist. When I coined this term as white collar terrorist and hybrid terrorist, I can assure you there was a lot of pushback on me, not only from my environment, military environment, because people are very uncomfortable when you start looking things differently and you try to and also from other elements from where there's a lot of pushback. Why are you calling? Why are OGW is good enough? I said this OGW term is required to be fixed at small little entities who are running on the ground, carrying a weapon from here to their place, or driving a terrorist from one place to another. But what we are totally missing out is a person who's having a cup of tea with you and me, sitting with us, evolved, enabled, empowered person who's got enough money in the bank, he's running a successful business, he's working as a government functionary, or he's a doctor, engineer, IT professional, he's talking to you. He's a great friend of yours, but he is using his position of power to be a factory of radical terrorists and radical people. Right? And this distinction, if you don't make it, you are going to go after the people who are running with pennies. But the guys who got the pounds will always be left out, and they are the factory. Because these people are all disposable. You can kill hundreds of terrorists, but this mind, when they remains, they are the ones who are shaping, identifying, collecting, getting the funds. They are the people who are running the things. And you need to get after the people who are behind separatism, radicalization, terrorism. And so that is how I term this white collar terrorist. Guys sitting in US, Germany, they are talking, they are on payrolls, which is quite evident on the social media and stuff which they are talking and the way. And the youth used to come out and tell me, sir, ye call aa raha hai, this is the call I am getting, this thing, why are you working with the army? Why are you working for government? Why can't you? Educated youth coming and telling. So that educated people are targeting educated youth to work for them and not for the government, or be Indian, be loyal to the tricolor. So the fact is that till the time you don't segregate this and start understanding that how that ism, when we say, takes control of people who are intellectual, intelligent, invest in them, and they continue to work through that so that the chains are larger. So I'll not talk about certain universities here where radicalization is seeped in, and thereafter they keep on progressing. They'll join civil services, they join into politics, they go into worldwide environment to continue to excite people against our country. But I'll just simply talk about this nexus. I'll give an example of doctors. Do you think that we are not aware of that doctors are involved in it? You today, I hope you remember in one of the matches with India and Pakistan, if in a particular medical college or a hostel there is a celebration happening, what do you think those doctors who were celebrating in that manner, and those doctors under whose watch it was being allowed without getting punished or getting a punitive this thing, they are going to be in love with our country or our tricolor? So those things are already there. Unfortunately, we'll come back to your last discussion we had. We want to be great, good people, nice people, encouraging people, secular people. When I say secular, is not secular. Be secular, but don't be sick, right? Just remember that when you spare the rod, that guy is only keep on going to come back and hit you at you. You're only encouraging. This problem of government of India or our nation or our strategic community has been that we have always fed milk to the poisonous snakes. Those who are with you, we have always disregarded. And let's go back to Kashmir. In Kashmir, everybody who's with you, we always tell them, ठीक है ये तो अपना बंदा है, इसको बड़ी keep him on the one side. But our funding, money, encouragement, power, everything will come out. The people who are like separatists, Gilani, and such like thing, everybody will encourage. Talk to them, give them more money. They will be yours. That snake is never going to be yours. It is only going to come back and bite. It will wait for its own time and get more entrenched, create more numbers, and thereafter come and bite at you. Important that take care of your people who are with you. Encourage, nurture. That is how an insurgency is broken all over the world. Right? It is broken when you encourage your own people, you put them into the places, they start running the show. What happens is a larger neutral section of society, which is watching this game, they realize that if I'm going to cry, if I'm going to do blast, if I'm going to look radical, everybody is going to come and talk to me and encourage me, ki nahi, nahi, aap theek hai, we'll take care of you, don't worry. So the shift keeps on happening. And this becomes a tool of blackmail to the larger country, to the government of India.
No, but you're saying you engage with those who are with you. Okay, those who are actually standing up for the tricolor, and the larger majority is the one that is peaceful. They want to see economic prosperity, and they understand identifying with India helps them, and they are happy to do that. But look at this story. Let's look at this story. How did they all stumble? We got these details. 17th, 18th October 2025. Some Jaish posters are put up in Nogam. It's done at the insistence of a Maulvi who's handling the mosque in Nogam. His cronies and his acolytes are the ones who have, at his instigation, gone ahead and put this poster. Usually, जहाँ तक मेरा understanding है, वो poster लगाते हैं, कुछ देर रहता है, उसकी photo ले लेते हैं, then they send it back to their handlers saying हमने चिपका दिए. But they also remove those posters because they don't want to be seen. Now, these posters used to happen before 2019, ना sir? ये सब तो पहले होता था. These are all chronic stone belters who have stopped belting stones. That's what their antecedents have come across. This guy, Maulvi Irfan, was a paramedic at Government Medical College in Srinagar. वहाँ से वो मस्जिद के अंदर चला गया, मौलवी बन गया. Now, is the local intelligence apparatus not watching these people? If these things are surfacing again, what does this mean? And if I'm educated, I'm supposed to have the ability to discern, right? What is radical, what is far right, what is diabolical or against humanity itself, and what is a ideological or political point of view. There are two structures here. How is it that these people are ready to succumb to such vitriol? How do they succumb to what a Masood Azhar or a Rauf Asghar are sitting there and sitting as sarganas of Jaish, proscribed terrorist organization? How is a doctor in Jammu and Kashmir ready to see those videos and say, oh, that's the reality? Because they are seeing reality around them. So how is it that they're ready to believe this kind of vitriol and nonsense?
So
Yes.
you,
Sorry.
firstly, there are two larger questions. That how does it happen? Is the local intelligence sleeping or what? They're saying, okay. And the second question is that how do they believe? Let's be it be slightly more contentious when I speak on it, and you can take a call to edit it or not edit it.
No, sir, nothing.
No, you can always because it's
you have the
usually-
right to speak your mind here on this
the
platform.
fact
so
is
please go ahead.
that the religion per se is a revisionist religion, right? So it will continue to consume. It'll bide its time when it's suppressed. It'll come through other means because this is how it's been taught as well. But eventually it has to continue to expand, and that is how it has been able to persevere even against the Christian religion per se. Look at
The
what's happening
Crusades, despite the Crusades over
despite
centuries.
everything. So it's a subtle manner by using variety of principles of victimhood or superiority or a thing about what is borrowed from socialism of certain degree of equality, right? And that continues to shift in the mind of people. So you may be the top leadership, the mayor of New York, but your mind will continue to perpetuate what you have started believing over a period of time, right? You may be the mayor of London, but eventually you will not talk about grooming of 13, 14, 15 years of this thing because firstly it's a male dominated. It seems the women are slave and they will continue to do all this. So that was not the case in Jammu and Kashmir, especially in Kashmir, because Kashmir technically, historically has been a matriarchal, all hillsides or mountains, women actually control the families. But when the shift has happened over a couple of centuries, this has been ingrained in the mind of people even in Kashmir. So I'll keep this religion part aside, but this is the challenge. So therefore, it is not about only watching online content. There is a huge amount of discussion which happens on two facets, right? We are being targeted with Indian by the Indian state. So more educated I am, much more faster it is for me to start believing in it, right? This is unfortunate. I can talk to a old farmer sitting in on a farm who's working who's tilling the land. He will still be modern, but the guy who doesn't have much to do, but he's intelligent, is intellectual, his mind can be shaped very quickly by talking about the larger global war on terror, like what is happening, what is American expansionism, imperialism. These languages look very nice and resonate from a person who is reading, right? And then he will very quickly relate it to an Indian state, and I'll like to fight against the state, right? So these are issues which have been exploited by the local top leadership as well. After all, the stone pelting concept did not start 10 years back or 20 years back. It started in Kashmir way beyond in 1930s. Actually, when the stone pelting was used as a system to control the narrative there. And you know exactly whom I am talking. He's
Yeah.
the person who started all that. So we forget that history part, and we just very quickly come to these doctors who are falling prey. These are not the doctors. The guys who struck in 9/11 were engineers who were trained in America. They're pilots, they're evolved people. Guy who's led Al Qaeda, who raised Al Qaeda, is a person who's the richest man. So when the seed of radicalization comes to your mind, it can come to anybody, but it's much more easier to talk to a person who's not educated and tell him that you're going wrong, and he will accept it. But a person who's educated in GNU, in a great university where free thought is allowed, that rhetoric, when a person keeps on talking, I saw the clip of this latest JNU, SU, this thing that one of the women was talking, the way she was talking, that rhetoric, when you repeat time and again, how can you change after 1 year to start saying I was wrong, even when you know you were wrong, right? So that gets embedded, and there are people who will come from variety of remote corners. They'll sit together. It is like ragging over a period of time when you know you're getting ragged. You know it is wrong, but the moment you go to the second year or third year, you start believing, it's my turn to rag.
See,
So it gets
yeah.
embedded. So there is one part. The second part I'll quickly answer is about the intelligence. Time and again, intelligence failures happen because Indian state is not about Jammu and Kashmir. We are reactive. Bomb फटता है तो आग लगती है, right? We are not. It's not in our DNA to look into the future what is going to manifest, right?
कि बम फटने से पहले उसको
पहले
रोक
क्या
दें,
करो?
हाँ.
So that is a challenge because most of us are actually paid government of India this thing. मुझे ऊपर से आएगा. So you will find few people like Sandeep Chaudhary and all, who's the Srinagar SSP.
Yeah.
There are quite a lot of police officers who are there, Jilani and stuff like that and all. They're all young people who will take proactive, preemptive actions to catch hold of a person. You catch hold of these guys, take him to for detention, and suddenly you find a bureaucrat or a judicial guy who will say, "No, it's not enough. And after a couple of weeks, he's let off, or first he'll not be allowed to be this thing." So there is an ecosystem over 35 years at the lower and middle rung, which continues to defeat not only in Jammu and Kashmir but all over our country in terms of being fair. Not enough evidence, right? These cases fall apart. eventually these people who continue to work hard also start giving up. Right? That is the problem with our country.
In this case, what happened is, I think because that poster was left, they were alert. They said, ये आए कहाँ से? Who's putting out these posters? और अब क्यों लगा रहे हैं? because 4-5 साल से तो लग नहीं रहे थे. And then they stumbled upon Adil, and the JNK police here. I would like to, their credit is also due that they stumbled upon. They made this arrest. They come down to Hyderabad. Sorry, back here to Faridabad.
Faridabad.
Then they go to Saharanpur. They arrest that person. All these arrests are made. Now, and then you realize that this guy एक भाग गया, अपने साथ कुछ ले गया और desperation में उसने जाके ये काम कर दिया because या तो पकड़ा जाऊंगा या तो मर जाऊंगा. Remember the JNK police had also put out saying that you can run but you cannot hide. तो इशारा कर दिया था that we know where you are, तेरे को धर लेंगे भाई. तब this guy has done it. What I'm trying to say is that should they have kept the whole thing under wraps till they caught the person?
This whole thing came out on a debate yesterday also, and a lot of people were, we can all, when the event happens, we can always go back and keep on telling.
Hindsight
is a great thing. But let's give the credit where it is due. Firstly, they caught, right? The operation started from 14th till 10th. It was under wrap. After all, nobody was knowing about it till 8th. Eventually, when such a large-scale discovery is made, you got two options to do it. It will go out into media. 3,000 kgs worth of ID making material.
Yeah.
Can you hide it from the public? You're going to a place, there are videos being made, everything is coming out, stories coming out, multiple stakeholders are involved.
But they have accumulated it over a period of time. नजर उस गांव के अंदर, उस घर के अंदर 3 टन का यूरिया पड़ा हुआ था और अमोनियम नाइट्रेट पड़ा हुआ था. किसी ने कुछ बोला नहीं कि साहब इतना सारा यूरिया यहाँ पड़ा क्यों है? ये तो डॉक्टर हैं, इनको क्या करना है इसका यूरिया का? Nobody raised this alarm. They stumbled on it. I'm just saying.
So, but then the choice was to just how much keep your pressure down. When the media is asking, ये क्या हो रहा है, you're picking up a chap, you are taking him to this thing, you're taking a doctor into a custody. You look at the brouhaha which is going to happen. Kashmiri hai, isliye people are targeting. He's a doctor, why are you taking him? But then somewhere the police has to come out and say, make a statement that this is what has happened. So I will not take Jammu and Kashmir police or Haryana police or whosoever came about and announced they did what they did was right. The second is also, when you're exposing this network, you imagine when you're talking about it, then even when I hear, then I start looking around, people become aware of it. That is where the rush and chase happens. That is when the door starts slamming on Dr. Umar that you can't come to my house, you stay on the run. These are all designed. Would they have known that he's gone with a couple of kgs or barrel worth of ammonium nitrate with him? We don't know. Now it is only Dr. Umar who can come and tell about. So there are, if it had happened through announcement, right, then possibly you would have been very happy about the success. Let's not go back into time and start castigating organization how it did. What they did at that point of time was a decision they took. It was not about taking credence and stuff like this. I think they had to inform with the media, the judiciary, the people who are putting the chap onto judicial custody for interrogation, all have to be informed. It will come out into the media, so they've informed.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Now,
then second, I'll just quickly.
Please.
I'm sorry.
I just want to cover 2 more aspects before we run out of time. That's why.
The thing is, नहीं तो काट देना बाद में.
नहीं काट देना थोड़ी दाल में से
put out everything. Which there's a lot of discussion which is happening that he blew himself, right? Or did it happen?
गलती से पड़ गया.
Why was he there for 3 hours? So there can be multiple theories on it. I just wanted to put 2 theories. These are waiting for 3 hours to get instruction that you blow up, right? So when you are going as a suicide bomber, you will possibly go single. You will not carry another chap. Now there were 2 chaps or 3 chaps. People are talking about it. Second is, he was possibly hiding in that location. What my theory is, he was possibly hiding in that location for darkness to move. Because he knew he's under spot, he's being checked. The move at the time when the most traffic is there, the police will not be able to catch you, and that is the time you move out to get out. So that is the time the traffic is also highest, and the police cannot stop each and every vehicle to check the way they have to check. Right? So I think he was going, something wrong happened. Right? Was it a prepared ID? But what surely I know, that having announced, put this man onto the rush or whatever happened, they have ensured the number of casualties was reduced. If this was organized, well planned, put into a place as a vehicle-borne ID, where larger number of people were, everybody who got the impacts were taken by a number of vehicles.
Vehicles.
So therefore, the casualty rates were possibly less. You imagine this vehicle was parked in a place on a crossing or some place
Or he just drives it into a market, or
into a market.
that entire Gauri Shankar Mandir ke aage pura passage, so many people walking around there.
So
thousands
one
of
doesn't
people,
know
yeah.
where he was going, what purpose, but I surely feel
That he was
that
using the dark to get
to
out.
get away, and I don't think he had the courage to die. Right? All these people who are white collar terrorists are very rarely anybody will have the courage to die.
Correct.
They got the brilliance, intelligence, but they will use somebody else to die, not
So he was
themselves.
not so far radical, but
No,
now,
no, radical. Dekho, he
radical
was
tha?
radical.
No, and he used to
Well,
talk about Fidain attacks.
he's a terrorist.
Now we've got information now that,
He is surely a terrorist like any terrorist,
Hmm.
right? And much more dangerous,
but more a coward
right?
than a
Yeah,
than courageous. That's what you're
correct,
saying.
absolutely.
So now the other thing is, should this not worry everybody that largely the valley is silent? Nobody said anything. Neither has the Ulema Council said anything, nor have the group of imams. None of them has come out and condemned and said, how can somebody like this do it from a mosque? The medical association has kept quiet. Nobody is saying anything. The political voices have all condemned and said, sorry, galti ho gaya. But nobody's come out and, the usual noise that they all make is not there.
So, why are you looking at Jammu and Kashmir?
No, I'm
I
saying
mean,
across the country.
across.
I'm saying across the
Why do you
country.
think that not? In fact, there have been political voices which I find totally ashamed of, that they have been trying to link with Bihar this thing. I wanted to put out a tweet on that, and I just from a platform I can just say, Bihar will not vote for national considerations. In fact, in our entire country, when the voting starts for Lok Sabha, there is a different trend. For assembly elections, there is totally different trend. Any number of terror attack is not going to influence the caste or class divided system in which we follow at the level of assembly and at the local council elections. Nothing.
Nothing. Correct.
ठीक है. So if Lok Sabha elections are happening, maybe one could have drawn this thing. So a number of people say, that Karnataka mein election tha, idhar election tha, to ek incident ho gaya. They want to all relate all this. But he was running. How can you orchestrate a running guy who wants to blow himself up or gets blown, right? How do you trigger all these things? This whole investigation of 14, 20 days. So I think putting too much into election is something very, very sad. But what is totally worrying me is that medical guys, none of these top association leaders, right, be it part of Judiciary, Bar Council, anybody, this whole chatter on the Twitter is coming only from a common citizen, a concerned citizen, who's not able to comprehend how to manage this
Yeah,
environment.
no, and the rest of them they're not saying anything. They're not saying anything about anything, and it's sad, but it's a statement. We have limited time, so I just want to bring out another aspect. We've got to understand that there are more accomplices. They actually wanted to create sleeper cells. तैयारी करके रखो, जब समय आएगा तब बताया जाएगा. That kind of a thing that they were accumulating all of this so that it can be disseminated at the right time. They were busy radicalizing more people. There are 2 more female doctors who are involved. They are under the radar. They've been picked up in Jammu and Kashmir, but they studied at the Dhaka Medical College. We've just got information. ISI set up a cell. They have officially announced that they've set up a cell. There are 8,000 students from Jammu and Kashmir who are studying in Dhaka right now. And the ISI is going to try and make a move on this lot. Now, is that not a clear threat for us? Now, how does Bharat respond to something like this? To counter
when I was
a narrative or an official
brigade commander and a
offense like this?
GOC, this issue when we used to raise that on the back of an envelope, when Gilani writes, or these top religious or so-called separatists write, to get a visa, passport was made. Me and you can go run around for a passport, it will take time. But the passports were made, right? Visas were given into these 3-4 countries where they go. They go to Iran, they go to Dhaka, to Bangladesh, they go to Pakistan, and Pakistan thing got stopped, right? By the time I became a GOC and thing got raked up, and the centralized institution for passport also came in slightly late. But there's a whole zing bang, thousands of guys who have gone and studied. You think,
Turkey also is involved.
yeah,
Turkey
Turkey.
maybe. Huh.
Anybody who goes to study there, he's not going to be food for fodder. He is or she is, right? And if you're going for getting a subsidized education, you may not become a doctor, but you'll surely be attempted to be radicalized. And when radicalization is happening within the country through variety of systems, when you have somebody in person to be radicalized, why should you not be? So why do you feel surprised that ISI and the extremist element which are anti our country are not going to use an opportunity every time? If you go out not only to this place, you go to any part of the country, world, there will be somebody who will come out and start talking about वहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है, the religion is being targeted, we are being targeted, you have to fight for it and things. Why should they not do it? People will do it.
What do we do?
So yeah, you have to keep a watch. You have to not send. You have to disallow. You have to ensure you go and study in Dhaka. You tell me that why is it so cheap there to study, right? If Dhaka and Pakistan medical fraternities were so good, why those people are coming here for treatment to India, right? So why should we not have layers of test to ensure that such people who go and study there, they are tested? You look at this example of how silly it can be in our country, and we are totally blind to it. I was not aware. There is a Mata Vaishno Devi Medical College which has just been opened in next to Katra or something. Out of 50 students who were enrolled, 85% students are from one particular community, right? So everybody, if anybody thinks, and this thing I brought...
That's because Hindus are not a minority in Jammu and Kashmir, especially in Kashmir. They're not a minority because they don't have the minority status because despite their numbers being low, RT does not apply. Hindu institutions cannot have admissions only for Hindus, but that privilege is given to madrasas. That privilege is given to churches, and schools, missionary schools, and also Jain schools, etc. But for especially Hindu schools, it's not done.
So when you know and everybody knows, so what is the present government for 11 years has done about it? Question to be asked. So, I remember General Rawat visiting me when I was a GOC Kilo Force. And when I proved the statistics to him that point of time, because, there is a whole rhetoric, unemployment, lack of opportunities is the one which is driving people to pick up weapons. So I started my briefing by saying, sir, so everybody in Jharkhand, Bihar, UP should be picking up guns and weapons, and because
they should all become terrorists. Yeah,
they should all become terrorists, and possibly if they pick up weapons, I think the government of India is going to then invest more time in them to ensure that they are duly empowered. Unfortunately, they're not picking up, right? It is all about, and I had that statistics. The people who got education, employment are far more radical than the people who don't. So, how many people from Bakarwal community or Gujar community or Pahadi community are terrorists? So, you have to just pick out. Yeah, there may be a guy who may be, encouraged to carry a weapon for money, for other compulsions or being pushed into it. But truly ingrained will not happen.
He's doing for an economic incentive rather than an ideological motivation.
Thing. But the guys who are making them do are all sitting ensconced. They are well educated, they are studying, they are ideologically shaped in mind. I think the government, time and again we keep on saying the government, until the people of our country start thinking like this, the government is not going to think about it. After all, governments come and go in terms of political parties. Today is BJP, tomorrow, yesterday was Congress, and before there somebody else was there. And our government machineries are all paid servants. ठीक है? So हम काम करते हैं, तनख्वाह कमाते हैं, जाते हैं. हम लोग देश के बारे में नहीं सोचते. Till the time the society starts looking at it differently as responsibility, all these things will start turning and falling into place. It should happen earlier than later. Right. And we should talk about it.
Right. On that note, we will hit the pause button here. Although we don't know when that unpause button will be hit. That's a conversation for next time, viewers. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Namaste. Jai Bharat.
जय भारत, जय हिंद, जय भारत.